Alright, so this is the first update of week 1 of the Artist Way. Today is Friday, March 7th, and I'm going to do my Artist Day today, and I thought that I would film it and would bring you guys along with me to the Artist Date. I know that in the book it says to do it alone and not bring anyone else, but you're not really here, you're just seeing the aftermath of everything, so this doesn't count. But today is Friday, and my weeks of the Artist Way start on Wednesday. So I already have 2 days in for the week 1. And this week it's been hard because of my little bump, but I've been taking things slowly. And the artist date for today was really hard to choose because I got a couple of ideas here and there, and I searched for artist date ideas on Reddit. I found a website that had like 101 ideas of the artist date, and one of them was to remodel or like redecorate your art space. I decided to do that today because not only I saw that idea and this is something that I want to do with my desk and my wall, but because I also saw a video on YouTube the other day that it was about how your space and where you work influences how you work as well. With those two things combined, I thought that, yeah, I need a redecoration of my space and I need to make my space inspiring to me. Because as you know, like, this is our room. My old room is now our bedroom and studio. So there's a lot of like decoration that we like the poster with skeletons kissing and Junji Ito wall over there, our vows from our wedding, and then we just have my pens over there. We don't have a lot of decoration, but my desk is what really needs a revamp because I don't have any decoration on my desk. And so it's really easy to create clutter and disorganization on my desk, and I just don't like that. So for example, this is what my desk looks like. I have just like random stuff in there, like my book that I'm reading and the Artist Way things. And there is my bullet journal, but it's just here open. And I have like my desktop, my iPad there, the stuff of the microphone that I'm using right now. I have this cute little lamp that lights up and it's like a toast. I really like this lamp, but it's just like here. It's not really part of the decor of my desk. And I have there my nail stuff that I have to get my nails done tomorrow. My Canva postcards that I have to open in my bullet journal in my pencil case. This is what my desk looks like, and then I just have these little like mushroom lights that my husband gifted me for Christmas. But you know, this doesn't inspire anyone. At our old house, I had like my vision board on the wall, like with photos and stuff, but nowadays it's just on my desktop. So I don't see it as often as I thought I would, but I still like to have it there, so that is not changing. But I wanted to do something for the wall. I'm going to try to have like a lamp in there or something, and cute stuff that inspires me on the desk and on the wall. Taking everything out of my desk was the first step to start redecorating it. And I also did this to be able to redecorate my wall a bit better and have more space to put everything first. So I really wanted to try this lamp that I got from Temu last year, but because I never used it, I think it got a lot of rust inside it, and I tried to turn it on, put new batteries in, and it just wasn't working. So I ended up not using it. I really like these soft lamps on my desk, but this one was just not doing it, so I got rid of it, and I just have the little toaster that I showed before. Then one of the things that I wanted to put on my wall were my March postcards. They had just arrived, so it was the perfect timing for me to decorate my wall with them. As you know, I got 2 of them, one for tulips and one for sunflowers because of my March theme, and they are also available on my shop and on my Etsy shop. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second, but they are already on my shop if you want to purchase them. The part of decorating my wall was a bit challenging, but I put these lights again and I decided to add a bunch of art prints on my wall. I added a couple of other art prints and small goodies from my pen pals, and then I really wanted to include this gothic Hello Kitty frame that I got from Japan in our honeymoon and add there a photo of us. And I printed several photos of us, but I decided to include one from our trip to Japan. And in case you're wondering, I'm using a portable printer by Xiaomi. I didn't finish the wall on that day, unfortunately, but here is how it looks. It's still pretty empty in my opinion, but I'm not a maximalist, so I don't want to put a lot of things. But I plan to collect more art prints from small business that support me and that inspire me and put them on here. So what you just saw was the artist date that I did last Friday, and today is Wednesday, which means yesterday was the end of week 1 and today starts week 2. So today I'm going to start reading week 2 of the Artist Way book. And at the end of week 1, we actually have a little check-in to do. So I'm going to do in this video a check-in of week 1, a little review of the week as well and the artist date, and I'm going to just talk about what I felt during this week. I have been only reading this book for like 2 weeks, and I just did the first week of the book. And I've seen a lot of different things happening, not only in my life, but in my mindset and the things that I'm doing throughout the days. And so I wrote everything on the morning pages. The morning pages were not that hard. I just had some problems figuring out when to do them, because for me it doesn't work to wake up and write the morning pages right away. We wake up, have breakfast together, and then my husband goes to work and I stay home working. And so the perfect timing for me to do the morning pages is right after breakfast, right after he leaves. So I only had a few days where I had that problem, and I only failed one day of the morning pages, but the rest of the days I did them, but just not in the morning. So that is something that I need to start including in my routine and do them strictly before I start work. Because if I start work, I'm just not going to do morning pages. And the artist date, as you just saw, I just decorated my wall and my desk a little bit. And I think the artist date was mediocre. It was a good artist date to start with, but I think it didn't challenge me as much as I wanted to. It didn't took me out of my comfort zone or anything. So I think it was mediocre, good to start the artist date things, but not a good artist date. So I think that for this week, I'm going to try to do it either on Friday or Saturday. I'm going to plan throughout the week what my artist dates are going to be and like brainstorm about the things that I can do for the artist date, or what I can buy, or where I can go and do a proper artist date. And now the check-in, it's just 3 questions, and I think that at the end of each week you have like a little check-in to know how the week went. And the first question that you have on the check-in is how many days you did the morning pages. I just mentioned that. The artist date as well. And the third question is, were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? And this is going to tie up with the change that I saw in myself and in my life this week. So I didn't see any problems with my recovery. I think the only problem is me. And I think I mentioned that on the last video of the Artist Way videos. But I feel like I have everything that I need to do more and to do better. I just don't do them. And that is because I realize that I'm one of those people, and it's just in this aspect, I prefer to do the same thing over and over again, even though it doesn't work, instead of putting myself out there and doing like other things and trying new things, just because I'm scared of what is out there. And I spent a good amount of time this week on that, because as I was talking to my husband about this, he also got some realizations of his own, which is really interesting. He realized a lot of things about himself, like business-wise, and he even did journaling. It was like the first time in his life that he did journaling. But because he's seeing everything that I'm doing and what I'm going through with the Artist Way, like on the side, he kind of gets affected by it. And I talk to him about all of this, so he starts like turning his wheels at the same time. But I also realized that I have everything in my power to do things, I just don't do them. And it's just because I'm scared. And the other problem is that I plan a lot. And I think I mentioned that in the last video because I got a comment from one of you guys relating to that. We plan a lot, but we don't do much. And I'm not a procrastinator, and I'm not like a person that doesn't do anything. But I realized that I plan a lot of things, and when it comes to do them, like I just don't do them. For example, I wanted to have a YouTube intro for so long on my channel, like a good YouTube intro. And I said that I was going to create one back in February, but I just didn't yet. And I was like, I put that on my bullet journal in my Notion, but because I didn't attribute like a priority to it or a due date, I just didn't do it. And that's what I realized today when I was in the shower, having like those shower thoughts, that if I have a task but I don't do anything with it, I don't create a due date for it, I don't say that it's an important task or urgent task, it's just not going to get done. And that is a problem, because it doesn't matter that I want to do all of these things and that I plan to do all of these things and I write down that I have to do all of these things if I don't actually do them. And that's the problem. That's where I want to step out from. And so this is like my accountability thing on this video, because by when this video goes live, I think my YouTube intro is already going live on the previous video or so, or in this one. And so I finished it this morning. I just need to add the music, so it's not something that needs to be planned in any way. So I just need to get the music done, and it's done, and I'm going to get it done today. That is like one of the tasks. The other thing was, when I am on TikTok, my TikTok is really like funny stuff, but also like realization things and like business stuff. And I saw a video of a guy explaining how to sell on Etsy and how to open an Etsy store and marketing on Etsy and everything. And one of the things that he mentioned was, if you're not willing to spend like $30 on something that it could make you hundreds in a few months for your business, don't even start a business. And that really made me think, because it's like, I purchased like the Shopify domain, I purchase things for my shop, but I've been in the sticker business for years, and I'm still deciding if I should buy a sticker machine to do like kiss cut stickers for my shop. And I think that should have been something that I should have done months ago, probably a year ago. But because I'm a cheapskate, that is kind of like in my way of moving on with my business, because I want my business to escalate, but I'm not really investing in it. And I talked to this with my husband, because my finances are his finances, and he agreed with me that I should do more investing in my business if I want to do more of it. And so I have that goal on Ko-Fi, and as soon as that goal is hit, I'm going to get a sticker machine. I don't care which month or at what time in my life I get the sticker machine, but I will get it as soon as that goal is hit. Yeah, I need to be less of a cheapskate when it comes to my business and really invest on that. Because speaking on the Etsy store, I didn't open an Etsy shop when I started my business. I opened it on Ko-Fi, and then I moved into Shopify, because I was like, I'm not going to get a shop on Etsy and then have to pay for the listings. If I want to put 20 products on my Shopify shop, I can. I just pay the domain, but you know, I can put how many products I want. And on Etsy, you have to pay for each listing, which is like 20 cents. But at the time, I was like, I'm not going to pay 20 cents to post a listing on my shop. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, 20 cents really? Like, that's how much it costs to make a listing on Etsy? And now I'm like, my shop doesn't get any good traffic. The only people that check out my shop are people like on YouTube, Instagram, and people on my newsletter, and people on Ko-Fi probably, but it doesn't go much further than that. And on Etsy, you have like a whole marketplace of people that can see your products, plus they appear on Google search more easily than Shopify. So I'm like, yeah, I should really invest on an Etsy store. And I actually opened mine yesterday. At this time, it's not open yet because I didn't pay the fees yet, but I want to kind of plan all the products that I want to put on Etsy slowly. It's going to be the same as my shop, but I plan to do that's another thing, but I plan to do like a rebranding of my shop for April or maybe May. And I want to set all of those things out with due dates, so I have like the different tasks and due dates, and actually open my Etsy shop. Yeah, that's the steps that I'm doing. And I realized that I'm a cheapskate, and that is causing my business to not grow as much, and that I just don't do things that I should be doing, and that is just stupid. So I think that part of this recovery creative journey is to really understand what's wrong with me and what I'm doing wrong. And for now, is that I plan too much and do too little. So less planning, more action. And investing in your business is not bad. If you actually invest and then do something with it, it's just going to bring good things. So I don't know why it's taking me so long to do both of those things, but that is kind of like my review of week one. I realized a lot of things this week, and it was a bit of a chaotic week. But yeah, and the other thing is that I've been so like realizing these things and doing so much that I didn't even do a weekly spread in my bullet journal. It's going to be the first week that I failed in my bullet journal because I really didn't need it. But I'm going to set up a live stream on Sunday. So the live stream just happened, I guess. And I'm going to really talk about that in the video and create like a weekly spread where I can have like due dates and to-do lists and goals and stuff like that so I can organize myself better. And I'm going to try something different for next week, or at least like the next few days, which is to have a priority task in my weekly spread. I mean, a priority task for the day. And then, so each day I get something done instead of having like a trillion tasks per day and not getting anything actually done. So I'm going to try that. This book is really worth it. It's just week one. I have 15 more weeks, I think. 11 weeks. I have 10 more weeks into this book, and I'm just really excited to see where I go from this, because it's already really like crazy that it's been a week. I mean, it's been two, but a week in a course, and I've already seen so many things changing and so many ideas blooming in my head. So yeah, that is going to be it for this update. I'll see you next week, and thank you so much for joining, and I hope you do this recovery journey one day because it's really worth it. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.